I want to answer the question, what is the difference between Aradhana, Puja, Upasana, and Jnana? All of us start in our spiritual journey when we are born with a concept of God, understanding of God. Whatever God form, Shiva, Vishnu, Lakshmi, Narayana, God has a form and God is in some place. God has a time and place. So we are taught how to do puja at home. Into a small idol of Rama or Krishna of this height, 1 inch, or maybe a saligrama of stone, we invoke God. Invoke God. Invoke means, please come inside into the idol for my accepting my puja. So that's why a concept of Shodasha Upachara Puja came in picture. Avayami, I invite God into that statue, into that idol. Asanam Samarpayami, I offer a seat, as if God is a guest. So this is called puja. So puja starts with a concept that God is an object separate from me. God is separate from me, an object. This is how everybody starts life, practically. God is inside me, nobody knows. So this is called puja or Aradhana. Aradhana means Aradhana, inviting God. To invite God, God should be separate. God should be an object. We invite God, your Ishta Devata, into that sculpture. That's how we start our life. In Vedic period, it was called Karma Kanda. Early morning when you get up at Brahmi Muhurta, do Agnihotra, fire worship. Invoke God into the fire. Invoking is involved. God is separate from me. I would invite God. God is an object. Invoke God into the fire. And then after morning ritual is over, he goes into his day-to-day activity as karma yoga. Taking care of bringing water for Gurukula, cleaning the Yajnashala, doing service to the Guru, he karma yoga. Karma Kanda, karma yoga, they follow. Morning when you invoke God into the fire, it's called Aradhana or Yajna. God is still somewhere, object. God has not become subject, me. And morning to evening, you do Karma Yoga. Karma Kanda and Karma Yoga. Karma Kanda involves Aradhana, invoking deity. For what purpose? First purpose of Karma Kanda is to bring a very disciplined life into the student. A life is well disciplined. Get up at 4:30, do Yajna in a very proper way. So bringing discipline of the mind is very important. It's called Shama, and Dhamma is brought into the life of a student called Brahmachari in the Karma Kanda. So Karma Kanda involves on such and such a ritual, such and such a day, you have to get up at this o'clock, this time, you have to do this puja, this many hours of puja, and puja has to be perfect. So a strict discipline and what we call as mindfulness is brought. When you do puja, everything has to be kept in this order. They say design has to be done, Rangavalli, artwork has to be done. Everything is done with mindfully. So lot of mental mastery is achieved in Karma Kanda. Then also there is a desire. I want success in life. I want money, power, position. So the desire also, you will have specific yajnas. So purpose of Karma Kanda is twofold. To fulfill your desires of artha and kama and even dharma and bring a strict discipline in life. If a person who has done Karma Kanda, you can see how disciplined his life is. and how calm he is, Shama and Dama will develop fully. Then comes the Karma Yoga. In Vedic period, the fire is the unlike today, we have a Sri Krishna statue or idol. Today we have a Krishna statue or Rama statue. Earlier days they had fire as the Vigraha or invoking deity, Ishtadevata. But fire was not the only thing. If you look at Vedic gods, everything in nature is God. Wind is God. Jala Devata, water is God. Prithvi Devata, earth is God. Akash Devata, space is God. Gradually from fire, they say entire nature is God. God is still an object. Okay. So puja is done at the objective level. It's called Karma Kanda or puja, today's world. The purpose of karma yoga, what you do of karma kanda, is to bring complete focus on the work what you do. Karma yoga means 100% focus on the work on what you do, not getting attached to result. A brahmachari in the Gurukula is working for Guru. So under Guru's observation. So all work are done. Brahmachari will completely focus 100% on work. In that process, Chitta Ekagrata will develop. Mind will become one-pointed. Shamadama is developed through Karma Kanda. Shamadama also developed through Karma Yoga. Then Chitta Ekagrata, mind becomes one-pointed. Chitta Shuddhi starts happening. Lot of difficulties come by doing the work. So then ability to withstand pain also comes into picture. It's called Titiksha. Like that, spiritual qualities, Shat Sampati starts developing in a Brahmachari. So Karma Kanda involves, or puja involves invoking a deity in the idol. So it is said that puja starts at the puja room. Puja room you do some puja. Deity is there. But real puja starts when you go out of the puja room into the world. Into the world you start seeing separation. And anger, hatred, jealousy starts developing when you see separation. Real puja is invoking deity into the idol, then invoking deity into all living beings and doing seva. Nara Narayana seva. Seeing human beings, Narayana in human beings. Narayana is still an object at that level. Narayana is some Shankar Chakra Gada Padma and he is an object. I see Narayana in any living beings and do service. So this is called Karma Yoga. Karma Yoga is called devotional service. What devotional service does? First of all, attachment to fruits of result will go. Mind, further karma stops. Mind becomes purified. Chitta Ekagrata has happened. Chitta Shuddhi has happened. So puja starts in the puja room, but ends up in seeing God in every living being. God, not seeing God, invoking God and doing service. When you do helping a poor man, you are not helping a poor man. You are doing a service to Narayana in him. You are invoking Narayana into him. How can you do that? How you can't do that? If you are able to find God in one small statue of 1-inch statue and invoke God into that, why can't you invoke God into a living being? Our mind is so conditioned. No, how can I find God in somebody? You are able to find God in one small 1-inch statue. You are able to find God, invoke God in a sculpture in temple. Stone, you are able to invoke God. Why can't you invoke God in a human being? See Narayana in him and do service. That's what Karma Yoga is about. In the modern day context. In the ancient day context, fire they see as a God. Fire they invoke God. Then invoke God in all tattvas, panchatattvas, space element, water element, fire element, wind element. All areas they start invoking God. So in that way, process way, from Yajna, the concept of God extends from Yajna, place where you do Yajna, to entire nature. So start serving the God everywhere. That's what is Karma Yoga. So Vedic period, Karma Kanda and Karma Yoga is used for developing the entire or doing Chitta Shuddhi. So when that happens, the student or brahmachari enters into upasana kanda. So karma kanda or puja, invoking God in an object, because God is also an object, person somewhere. Then you are able to invoke God in you, God in me. That's called upasana. Now journey becomes internalized. The divine quality starts manifesting in the individual. So now this system is broken. People don't know the meaning of, people don't know what real puja is about. Real puja is seeing God everywhere. So when they come to the Guru, Guru will say, Guru cannot take them to all this process of karma kanda, aradhana and all. Guru will say, do service. Service is offering to God. Ishwara arpitam, nechaya kritam, chitta shodakam, mukti sadhakam. Offer, do as an offering to God, Ishwara. That's what is told. We are not getting to, at the level, at the modern day, Guru cannot get into all this karma kanda, how to do ritual. It all requires a lot of training. So simply start doing service. Then whom I am doing service? Think that you are doing service to Narayana in human being, Nara Narayana. Still it is a thinking. Still it is a invoking. Okay. No, how can I can't find Narayana in him? Then if you are not able to find God in him, if you are not able to invoke God in him, invoke godliness in him. Each person has some good character quality. See that good quality. Like that, the modern day Guru teaches Karma Yoga and Chitta Shuddhi. Then the student becomes ready for Upasana. He can invoke God internally. Earlier it was difficult to invoke God internally, Upasana. If you tell God is inside you, how God is inside me? I have so many negative characteristics. So that negative characteristics, all those negativity has come down because of karma kanda. Negativity has come down because of karma yoga. Then it becomes ready for upasana. Otherwise, he is not ready for upasana. Upasana is invoking God inside. Instead of in puja room, he'll invoke God inside. And same karma yoga will continue outside. The difference is, earlier you are invoking God in a date, in a vigraha, a statue. Now, instead of invoke God in this statue called this embodiment complex. You are missing the point. Life journey always starts God as an object. Everybody life journey starts God as object. God is somewhere. So that becomes karma kanda, karma yoga. Then becomes upasana kanda or upasana kanda, where God is subject. First, God is an object, God is a subject. So now subjective worship of God starts. So gradually, as inner purification deepens, Chitta Shuddhi deepens, 6 divine qualities, Shat Sampati starts, develops. Shama, Dama, Titiksha, Uprati, Shraddha, Samadhana, Mumukshutva develops fully. And once that develops fully, the Shishya, the student, is ready for Jnana. He gets ready. Mumukshutva develops now. Mumukshutva comes to the picture. Then he seeks a Guru. His maturity has come to a level where Guru appears in his life. Guru appearing in your life is not a difficult thing, but to recognize that Guru is a difficulty. If somebody has not gone through Chitta Shuddhi and seeing God in all living beings and non-living beings, how will he recognize a God in an enlightened master? The entire Karma Yoga and Upasana has helped him to understand an enlightened being who is simple and humble is none other than Brahman. That understanding is there now. That maturity has come. Until that maturity comes, even Guru stands in front of you, you can't recognize Guru. Guru may recognize you. That's why it said, when Shishya is ready, Guru will appear in life. Guru is always there in your life. Are you able to recognize him as a Guru? For that, you need a Chitta Shuddhi. All this Karma Kanda, Karma Yoga, Upasana, all this are preparing for meeting the Guru. The whole entire purpose of spiritual sadhana is to meet the Jnani Guru, get Jnana. So now, the teaching is given. Tattvamasi. So now, the God is beyond subject and object, transcendent reality. So, God is subject, God is object, God is subject, and God is transcendent reality. Not only just transcendent reality, God is subject and object also. Aham Brahmasmi is also true. Sarvam Khalida Brahmasmi is also true. So that realization happens after you meet the enlightened master. This is the spiritual journey. Any? No. When initially, always you start God as an objective reality. After Upasana, God in me. So you invoke God in a deity and do puja. Invoking. So invoking means objective reality. God is invoked in other person, other society. So still there's a reality. The reality becomes much more deeper when you are able to get a subjective reality as God. It is not new reality. Yeah. I'm saying with the objective reality itself, many people achieve high degree of purity. Once it becomes subjective, will it become subjective? Yeah, once it becomes subjective, it will become subjective in all. See, in Aradhana, God still has to be invoked. In Upasana, God is in me. So presence of God becomes more natural everywhere. So it's only progressive journey. It's not changing, shifting anything. Anybody has a question on Zoom? So basically, object, God as an object is called karma kanda or puja. Seeing God everywhere in nature and doing service is called puja or karma yoga. Chitta Shuddhi, purification happens. Then seeing God in oneself. Now God is no longer object, God becomes a subject, is next level. It's called upasana. Then God is beyond subject and object, is transcendent reality. It's called Jnana. So this is the spiritual journey. Anybody has a question on Zoom? Hubalan?
No question, Prabhuji.
Is it clear?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay. So, what was the next question? Let me summarize the Aradhana, Puja, Karma Yoga, Upasana Yoga, and Jnana. In the beginning for spiritual life, God is somewhere. If you ask somebody, where is God? Uparwala. God is above. God is separate from me. God is an object in that way. So inviting God is called Aradhana. Aja, 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 Aradhana. Aja, Aja. Hey Bhagavan, Aja, hamare ghar mein Aja, hamare man mein Aja. Inviting God into the house, into the idol is called Aradhana. That's a Sanskrit name. Modern name is called Puja. We invite God into a deity, into an idol, and do puja. So puja we do. Then the puja is invoking God into the idol. Invoking. God is not there. Please come. Aja, Aja. Aradhana. After invoking God, after puja is done, when you go to the work, when you go to the outside world, invoke God in every living being. Aja Bhagavan, Aja, Aja, Aja. In all living beings, we invoke God, deity of our Ishta Devata. And then we do service. That's called Karma Yoga, devotion service. Aradhana is God is object inviting into our life. It's called Salokya. Then doing service to God in the form of all living beings by invoking God in all living beings is called Karma Yoga, devotion service. So then that next stage, the devotion service, Karma Yoga purifies you. So next stage is invoking God in our mind. Aja Bhagavan, Aja, mere man mein baj ja, man mein bas ja. God is in my mind is called Upasana. From now God from object, it becomes a subject. Invoking inside. From object God to subject God. So when the object God, where is God? God is above, Uparwala. Then subject God is Andarwala, inside. So that chitta, when the God becomes subject, there's a lot of inner purification happens, chitta shuddhi happens, preparing you for jnana. Then what happens? God becomes both inside and outside and beyond. Then God becomes sarvavyapi, transcendent reality. So object God is called puja or aradhana, subject God is called upasana, and God everywhere, transcendent God, immanent reality and transcendent reality everywhere is called jnana or mukti. From outer God, aradhana, puja, to inner God, upasana, to God beyond, jnana. This is the spiritual journey. In the first level of spiritual journey, God is Uparwala, somewhere, Ishvara. Invoking God into idol, which you do puja or aradhana, then offering 16 different types of upachara. It's called Shodashopachara. Upachara means service. Is called aradhana. Out of that, one of the aradhana is stuti, stotra. Glory, telling the glory of the God. By praising the God, glory of the God, we feel uplifted. Shodashopachara puja. So this is called Uparwala, comes into our life, Aradhana. Aja is called Aradhana. It's also called puja. Aja becomes puja. Now, in spiritual journey, you are in the Salokya, inviting God into your loka, into your world, into your home, into your house. Then becomes Samipya, closeness to God. How you become closeness to God? Doing service to all living beings, invoking God in all the living beings, you become closer to God. Samipya. Then invoking God in your own mind. Man mein aaja, man mein bas ja. Then it becomes Sarupya. Because when the God comes into your mind, the divine qualities will start manifesting in you. From objective God, Aradhana, Karma Yoga, to Sarupya. God in your mind. Purification happens. Sarupya. Then gradually, ignorance becomes less and less. Then you attain oneness with God. The deity and devotee become one. That's called Sayujya. So this becomes, when ignorance becomes less and less, more and more Sarupya happens. Atma happens, then thin layer of ignorance also drops. In Sayujya also there is a thin layer of ignorance. Deity and devotee are one, at the same time separate. Like tree is one with the leaf. Leaf is part of the tree but separate from tree. Sayujya also there is still a sense of separation that Adnana drops and you get Atma Dana or Jivan Mukti. Any questions? Satyavati clear?